What's up, guys? It's Khalid here. I'm in Amsterdam right now, and you're watching Toasted.
Welcome to Amsterdam, man.
Thank you. How are you?
Is this? Well, I'm okay. I live here, so I'm not jet lagged like you probably are, right?
I'm very jet lagged, but it's all good. I like it. I mean, I like Amsterdam, so I'm kind of fine with being jet lagged.
I was wondering, because you lived in Germany, have you been here before, actually?
I actually have never been to Amsterdam before, but I've been to Paris and I've been to London. So this is my first time here, and a lot of my friends have been there, and they all love it. So I'm kind of super excited to be here.
I just hear you have a day off tomorrow. So what you gonna do, man?
I'm actually going to my hometown in Germany. I haven't been there in 6 years, so I'm gonna go for the day and kind of walk around and kind of reintroduce myself to my hometown.
Where is that?
Heidelberg, Germany.
In Heidelberg.
Yeah. So
You speak German as well?
I used to. I lost it. I started learning Spanish, and my German kind of. Yeah. I wish I could speak it, but I'll probably learn again.
I bet you like 99.9% of all artists would rather stay in Amsterdam. I mean, we're like 500 meters of the red light district.
Oh, yeah.
I think like maybe 2 meters from the nearest coffee shop, but you decide to go to Memory Lane.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the coffee shop here actually from a couple of other artists, and I heard Amsterdam really gets down, and you guys have a lot of fun. So, but yeah, being in Germany, just being in Europe, has really brought me back to the kind of like the state of my childhood. Just because I grew up here, and like even walking around Amsterdam, this looks so much like my hometown that I'm just like, oh, this is insane. And so I kind of really enjoy my time in Europe, and it's gonna be sad when I have to go back to America and live in LA again.
Well, isn't that too bad? Hey, how come that you moved to Heidelberg? And it was probably, well, an important part of your life.
So both of my parents are in the army, so they had got stationed in Heidelberg when I was a child. I had moved with them, and being in Heidelberg and growing up in Germany really changed my perspective about life, and it allowed me to mature at an earlier age. I just grew up so much, and then having to leave and having to move to a different country was kind of a culture shock to me, just because I was raised as like a German boy, and then now I had to learn how to be American again. But now I get to come back overseas and feel exactly what I was feeling when I was younger, and I'm super inspired right now, actually.
I love Germany. I have family in Germany. Maybe this is a cheesy question for a lot of people, but what differs between German youth and, for instance, the LA youth?
So, living in Germany, I feel like a lot of kids they're more conservative, but at the same time, they're more rebellious. Like, they're more open. If they want to do something, then they're going to do it. And they like to have a lot of fun. The drinking age is also very low in Germany, so maybe that's why. But living in America, I guess, is just, there's so many different people, and life moves so fast, and everybody's moving so fast. Everybody's on the go. So for me, that kind of like shook me a little bit, because everybody is just very aggressive, which is cool. But I like living as both, because I was able to learn a lot more stuff about myself when I lived in Germany, and then I was able to actually use that stuff when I lived in America. So a lot of my friends in America were older than me, just because I kind of grew up older as a child.
Do you still have friends in Heidelberg?
I do, actually. So
You're still in touch with them as well?
yeah, so the person who's picking me up tomorrow from Frankfurt, I've been friends with them since elementary school. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see them.
I can imagine. Hey, another exciting thing happened. The 3rd of March, your debut album will be released. This is, for you, it's a life-changing experience, right?
Yes. Oh, it's super big. I'm super excited for the album, because I feel like it's truly the introduction to who I am as an artist to so many different people, whether it's overseas or whether it's in America. I feel like people are going to really get the true understanding of just what I'm all about, and especially the music.
So what are you all about?
So
In your own words.
I'm 19, I'm very young, and I'm learning a lot about myself, but at the same time, I'm very content with my emotions and my feelings, and I feel like throughout the music, you can kind of hear that. Everything is super personal, everything is super raw, and everything is super soulful. So by kind of explaining myself further, I'm always sad 24/7, and so sometimes that comes out throughout the music, so I can be happy in real life. I feel like I separate myself into two different parts: my creative side, and then my, outside of the box type of side. So I'm really excited for the album.
Of course, I delved into your music. Two tracks from American Teen, which is the name of your
Yeah.
debut album that I listened to. Um, Shut Down. I love that intro. The harmony is amazing. It's almost like Gregorian.
Oh, thank you. So
How did you come up with that?
for the intro of Shot Down, growing up in high school, I was very choir and choral based, and so I kind of wanted to incorporate that and all of my inspirations into the beginning of that song. I kind of wanted it to be theatrical, and I wanted it to be a moment, and I love that song. The intro is probably my favorite part. The beginning of the song and the end of the song is my favorite part of that song.
So how did you create it? Were you inspired by classical music, or?
I was inspired by classical music. I guess I was just inspired by the structure of a classical song, and so I had went in. All of the voices are me, and I had sang one part multiple times. I did it like 10 different times, and put it all together, and that's kind of the sound that was created.
So you did all the production yourself as well.
So it was me, it was my friend Six Sense. We had got together and we kind of made this plan. I was like, you know what, this is kind of the song that I want to create from this moment, and luckily we achieved that.
And then suddenly Kylie Jenner is playing your music and making, I don't know, Snapchat shots of your music in the back, and suddenly you realized it's not just my mom listening to my music.
It's crazy. It's just the fact that one person can have so much of an influence to a song, because I remember before Kylie Janner had played my song location was kind of buzzing around my city. A lot of people were finding out about it. But the moment that she played it, it kind of spiked it up a lot, which is super dope. I'm super thankful for her. I've never met her personally, but if I met her, I would thank her as well.
45 million plays and counting, man. That's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's crazy. I can't even believe it half of the time.
So, and still growing. So where do you think it will go?
Up. I think it's going to go up, and I feel like the song is just creating a culture of itself, and it's just expanding. And I'm really excited for the record if it reaches full potential.
Another track from the record, the title track, American Teen. It starts off with a small alarm clock sound somewhere in the intro. Yeah. I love how you play around with those noises. Like, you listen to the music and suddenly your ear goes like, what's happening?
Yeah. So for that, I kind of wanted that to kind of be the representation of youth, and how we wake up every day with an alarm clock and we go throughout our whole day. And I felt like American Teen was kind of the dream that a lot of people have about growing up in America and being a child. And I really wanted it to kind of explain the fact that my youth is the foundation of me, and everything that I do is based off of my youth. And when I'm older, I will still be youthful. I think I will be a child until I'm like 60. So I kind of wanted that to be expressed throughout the music. I wanted to create a song that I could listen to after I grew up a little bit and be like, you know what, this is what my childhood was about. And I love the record.
Actually, it strikes me what you're saying now is, I mean, I met another artist, and he said, when I was young, I always thought I looked up to the older people, like, well, they're growing up, they know what they're doing. Until he grew up himself, and he said, and only then when I realized that I'm never going to grow up myself, and I was always going to be this kid forever.
Yes.
Then he realized that even the people in charge are probably not growing up.
Not growing up, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, especially my age, they want to force themselves to grow up, and they don't want to take advantage of all the experiences that youth brings you. I mean, I walk around, I'm like, I'm 19 and I'm in Amsterdam, like, this is crazy, It's like, I want to feel what feeling I felt today when I'm 30, and I want to feel that when I'm 40, just because it's an amazing experience.
Hey, of course, you're basically half European, maybe like 10-15% European, and Texan, living in California. Of course, Mr. Trump became president, much against the odds. Especially a lot of older people voted for him, and apparently a lot of younger people are way more liberal. So, what does this mean for you? And are you still positive about the future of the U.S.? And is it easy to be a kid now in the States?
I feel like it's kind of difficult, but I feel like a lot of people are kind of remotivated, and we realize the mistake that we made. And so next time come around, we'll all vote. Even I will vote this time, because, I mean, it's better him be elected now than be elected in the future or be re-elected. So I feel like a lot of the decisions that we make are going to change, just because not even America is being affected by the voting process, but the world is kind of being affected a little bit. Yeah, so
Coming from El Paso, when you're back from Heidelberg, maybe there's a wall standing in your backyard.
yeah, I know. Maybe there's gonna be a world in a wall in Mexico, and I feel like it's kind of dumb, and it's not gonna get finished because I know how construction is in El Paso, and nothing gets finished in anytime soon. So I think I'll be a little bit okay for his presidency, and I feel like it'll end soon.
Maybe they should hire a couple of Mexicans to do the constructing.
You know, I feel like that's probably what they're gonna do. But honestly, knowing a lot of my friends, no one is gonna do that. So we're not gonna be the ones building the wall.
Hey, your US tour, 21 gigs sold out.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing, man.
I know. It's crazy just to think of the fact that I was 18 when I had started the tour. I'm 19 now, and I was able to sell out my whole first tour. Actually, all of the dates in Europe are sold out as well. So just thinking that I sold out my first tour completely is insane for me, and it motivates me because I want to go out, go on tour, and do the same thing another time.
Do you actually have a Spotify account yourself?
I do have a Spotify, and I'm tuned into a lot of different songs, and I'm always ready for new releases. So, yeah, I love my Spotify.
Could you do us a favor, and now I'm talking for like the music lovers in general, because you have a Spotify playlist that has sad love songs on it. They're all your own songs,
Yeah.
which is great. But I mean, since you're a music lover, I'd love to hear all the stuff that you're playing yourself.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that'll be dope. So, actually, I really wanted to create a playlist of just all the songs that I like and the songs that I listen to, just so people can kind of get a better understanding of me as an artist and kind of feel, what I'm listening to and feel super in tune. So, I think I'll make a playlist for them.
Hey, lots of supermodels talking about you on the Instagram, and I blame you, of course, but I also blame Kylie Janner probably. How come that all these beautiful girls are playing around with your music?
Just because, no, I don't pay them. I think it's just because my music is very sad, and girls love sad love songs. So they love the records, and I actually meet a couple of them, and I'm friends with a couple of them, and we all talk about it, and they're a lot of fun to be around, and I mean they're beautiful women, so that's also a plus as well.
So the next record will be very uplifting and happy, I hope.
Yeah, the next few records will be very happy.
Hey, what holds in your future for you?
So for my future, I want growth. I feel like that's my main goal. I kind of want to win a Grammy in 2018. I want to go on a bigger tour. I want my fan base to be big as well. And I just want to expand, and I want to find more about myself, and I just want to keep making good music.
But I mean, setting out for a Grammy, having that goal already, that's quite a goal.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a goal that I know that I can achieve if I work hard enough to achieve it. And I feel like it's right around the corner, and I feel like this album might be the album that does it. So hopefully this album gets me a Grammy.
You deserve it, man.
Aw, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your time. Before we wrap up, this tour is already sold out, so big shame on people who are missing out. But will you be back, and will you play festivals in the States, in Europe?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm going to be performing a lot of festivals, and I can't wait to come back to Europe and have another show.
Sweet, man. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.